All right, hello there. This is Jen Kitzmiller with the National Weather Service in Missoula, and I have your weather planning briefing for Sunday, November 8th. So a few highlights this week. We are expecting some light snow to continue tonight, particularly in western Montana. Moving ahead, we're going to be continued under a colder and unsettled weather pattern. And that is going to be bringing in some chances for more snow, particularly in the Tuesday and Wednesday time frame, and then another weather system that could bring us some mixed precipitation by Friday. So here's a look at the current satellite imagery. The weather system that moved through the area last night into this morning, Sunday morning, is slowly going to be pushing off to the east today. So that's going to generally bring our snowfall rates down as we get into this afternoon and evening. However, we are expecting some more precipitation to develop tonight, particularly across western Montana, as this low ejects off to the east and we get more northerly flow behind it. Upstream, there is a very weak ridge of high pressure building along the west coast. That's going to keep us here in northerly flow going into tomorrow. So overall, pretty benign conditions, maybe some light snow continuing in the morning, but relatively cool. And then as we look further west, you'll see there's some storm systems in the Gulf of Alaska, and this moisture and energy is going to be digging south and into the area as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing our next chance for precipitation. So getting back tonight, this is a model depiction of what the radar may look like as we go into this evening and overnight hours. And as I mentioned, as that low pressure system moves off to the east, we will enter a more northerly flow aloft that can be favorable for some light snow to develop across northwest Montana early this evening, and then you'll see that this area of precipitation gradually shifts southward into the Missoula area around 9-10 o'clock, and then further off into southwest Montana overnight tonight. So we're not expecting a lot of snow out of that, maybe up to an inch, maybe 2 inches at the most. But it will keep roads slick out there and be something that may need a little extra mitigation. One other thing I'll mention is there is a slight chance of seeing some lake effect snow develop up on Flathead Lake, kind of favoring the southern and eastern shores. You'll see it just barely showing up here towards the end of my frames towards Monday morning. I don't think that's going to be a prolonged concern, but it is something that could maybe bring a little bit more snow, particularly along that Highway 35 along the east side of Flathead Lake. Now going forward, as I mentioned, looking at the satellite imagery, we're really going to stay overall under the influence of a trough of low pressure that's going to keep our temperatures relatively cool. This is kind of just an average look at what the temperatures are going to be doing this week. Here on the left, that's today, Sunday, so you'll see highs for the most part only in the 20s. As we go forward in time, you will see a general warming trend with Friday out here on the right side of your screen showing up into the mid-30s, but for the most part, you'll notice overall many locations are going to be just barely getting to or just above freezing for much of this week. So what does that mean? It means that most of these weather systems that are going to be coming in, particularly Tuesday into Wednesday, almost all elevations are going to be seeing snow, with the exception of elevations roughly below 1,500 feet in north central Idaho. Aside from that, most locations will be seeing snow moving forward. So I keep mentioning the system Tuesday into Wednesday. This is a look at the probability of snowfall, particularly the probability of seeing 2 inches or greater of snowfall in 24 hours. And so this would be between Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. And you'll see with this next weather system, it's really going to be focusing up through north central Idaho and across northwest Montana, particularly in the terrain. But I will point out even areas such as Grangeville has about a 60 to 70% chance of seeing at least 2 inches in this time frame. And you'll see a lot of the valleys up across northwest Montana have a probability as well. So while I think the main focus is going to be through the mountains, the mountain passes, both along the Idaho-Montana border and then up here in Glacier National Park and down into the Sealy-Swan Valley, some of the other valleys in these areas will be seeing some snowfall. So this is really our next focus period. You'll notice as you look further south, Missoula Valley is right here. There's only a 15% chance of seeing 2 inches or more. So there's a chance, but it looks like these areas as you move south and east are not going to be as favored. Likely see a little bit more downsloping and not as much snowfall. I'm going to just take you through a few of the points out there just to give you a little idea of some of the timing. So this is LookoutPass, and you'll see this is our snowfall tonight into this evening, then overall a little drier period. And then as we get into Monday night, it could start as early as Monday night there at LookoutPass, but really the most intense snowfall is expected in that early Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon time frame. And again, you'll note temperatures are all below freezing, so this should be able to see some accumulations throughout this entire period. Taking a look at Swan Lake, that's the other area that I was pointing out that was really showing some favoring due to some upslope flow. Snow's going to start back up there as early again as Monday evening, but again, it's that Tuesday afternoon into Tuesday night time frame that's really showing the potential for the most intense snow. Temperatures here do just barely go over 32 degrees Tuesday afternoon, but it looks pretty short-lived, so I think most of the snow will accumulate. Looking forward to Kalispell, right now we're not showing a lot of accumulation, really just a few hundredths. Or a few tenths of an inch, I should say, but this is something to keep an eye on. It's possible there could be some higher amounts somewhere in this particularly Tuesday evening time frame. Here's Grangeville in Idaho. Grangeville just received a significant amount of moisture and snow out of this last weather system. We heard anything from 7 up to 10 inches of snow reported on the Camas Prairie. This next system does not look quite as favorable, but you will see as we get into Tuesday evening and the overnight hours, there's about 1 inch to 2 inches in the forecast. And again, if you look at those temperatures, it warms up just barely above freezing Tuesday afternoon, but drops off pretty quick that evening. So again, I do think we'll see some accumulations. And here's the upper Lochsa. You'll see precipitation's a little bit more spread out, but again, we're really hinting at that Tuesday into Wednesday morning time frame for more snow. So looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook, there is another weather system on the horizon for Friday into Saturday. That one, there is some potential of seeing some mixed precipitation. It's really going to depend on how quickly some of the valleys are able to warm up as we get towards the weekend. So there's still a lot of question marks on that, but there is potential of maybe seeing some freezing rain and some icy spots as we get into Friday into Saturday. And you'll see, looking at the 6 to 10 day outlook, we really are favoring continued above normal precipitation and below normal temperatures. So really not a lot of change in the overall weather forecast going out through roughly November 17th. Here's the weather threat matrix. We highlighted yellow for Monday. This is really for Monday morning as we see that snow exiting the region. And then Tuesday into Wednesday, we've highlighted in orange those areas where we think there's potential to see a little bit more snowfall. West central Montana on Tuesday, that's more so as you get closer to the Idaho border out towards Lookout Pass where we could see some heavier snow. And then again, as I mentioned, Friday, that's the next weather maker that comes in with potential for maybe some freezing rain. That's all I have for today. Our next briefing will be coming up on Thursday, and in the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks and have a great day.